That's exactly what happened. They did a good job.
Ta-da! Hello and welcome. I am Daniel Warren Hill of Alchemical Records, and with me tonight is KONZI. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Daniel?
Thank you for having us.
Hey, thanks for being on the call, and thanks for making it all possible. It's always a team effort. We're dialing in all of our technical things to make sure that this went off well up to the last minute. Thank you so much for your help.
Of course.
We're trying. Yeah,
And
we're music nerds, not computer nerds.
Yeah.
But learning new things every day, right?
That's right. Always.
So if you're unfamiliar with KONZI, KONZI is an Austin, Texas-based indie alt-rock band. They recorded their self-titled debut album through 2020 and 2021, working hand-in-hand with producer Daniel Sahad of Nane, who recently passed. Recording and mixing engineer Charles Godfrey of Scary American Studios, known for Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Third Eye Blind, and Portugal the Man. And Bubble Studios founder, producer, engineer Chris Frenchie Smith, familiar with their work in The Darkness, Jets, and The Toadies. Now KONZI has been trickling new music and incredible videos to fans since the release of Bonnie and Clyde and the follow-up single Free Your Mind. With me tonight, we have Forrest, Garrett, and Uli, right?
Yeah,
Uli, because that's short for Ulises, right?
Ulises, yeah.
Ulises.
Ulises, yeah.
Well, in Greek culture, we draw a lot of acclaim to a name of such high stature. Do you feel like that's a name to live up to?
I guess. Yeah, he looks up to that godlike on the drums, I'd say.
It's such a hype name that his parents skipped his middle name. They didn't give him one.
Better than having two middle names in my book.
That's exactly. I found this out last week when we were submitting in the ether, or a few weeks ago, for songwriting credits. And I was like, "What's your middle name?" And he's like, "I don't have one.
It's just my first and last name. That's it."
It makes it so easy.
No, I still get it.
Go ahead.
I said I still get it wrong. After years. Sorry.
All good. I was just going to tell everybody, we're hopefully going to get to know you a little bit better throughout this call, but we've also, you've got a fantastic looking website with a ton of details and information. You want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, konziband.com. You guys can check that out. That's where we're keeping our videos, and some of our more like detailed branding information, of our story and things like that. But mainly, if you're trying to find our music and stuff like that, your typical social media channels are a great place to find that as well.
What's your favorite social media platform to hang out at?
I mean, for me, Instagram. I still haven't adopted the whole TikTok thing, but
depends on if we're talking about creating or consuming. Because I much prefer to consume on TikTok, but posting to Instagram, I'm just way more familiar with.
Got it. So, what kinds of videos would you hope that you can start to launch on TikTok when KONZI launches more of their TikTok media?
Well, we've kind of talked about it. Like some of our background of our stories, we've been playing for years as a cover band, also around town, kind of like cutting our teeth, and that's a way that we all started playing together a lot. And right now we got 3 out of 5 of the band here. I think Shawn, the guitarist, might be showing up a little bit late. Carly, our awesome female vocalist, she's at a show right now herself, trying to make some money. So I don't think she's gonna make it, but they say 3 out of 5 ain't bad. So we're still kind of here. The foundation of the band, the rhythm section's over here. Sorry, what was the question again? I forgot.
TikTok video.
Oh, TikTok. What was it about TikTok video? Yeah. I remember. Sorry. The cover band aspect of what I was saying is we kind of, at least me, I know there's so much we can do on TikTok and plan on doing, but I want to do a lot of like fun rock cover mashups of just like top 40 songs that are currently on the radio at the moment. You know, TikTok is so much about that quick turnaround of what's popular in that short period of time. And I feel like we can bring some cool KONZI rock to some of these, you know, Dua Lipa songs or Post Malone or whatever it happens to be in the moment.
We'll keep our eyes out for some of that content on your TikTok. Is it already launched and just waiting, or is it like something that
there's a handful of videos out there, and when I say handful, I'm pretty sure you can count them all on one hand, maybe
On one finger.
maybe two. Yeah, so there's a couple, but not a lot.
That's okay.
We got ideas.
Testing the waters.
That's right. That's right.
So I love your music. It's better. It's easier to write about it when you're a fan, you know, to a certain degree. I guess if you want to write positively about it, it's easier.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an incredible energy, an incredible vibe. I would say that there's something like spiritual about it. Is there any kind of like spiritual element in it? Is it just like humans coming together and bringing all their pieces?
I think the only spiritual aspect about it is if you would consider psychedelics spiritual. Just
I don't know what he's talking. I don't know what he's talking about that.
No, there's nothing spiritual at all. It is just the human experience and bringing people together.
Yeah, it just depends also on your definition of spiritual. You know, for us, it's the music's bringing people together and positivity and all that jazz. And definitely with KONZI, because KONZI is a new project. I mean, as you said, it's been a couple years in the making, but we've recorded music separately in different bands in the past, and KONZI is definitely a collaboration of like all 5 of the members of our band and bringing our different elements to it and trying to build something new in that direction.
And did you all like gather under an apple tree one day? How did the story of you all coming together?
Yeah, I mean, lightning struck. The god Ulises came out with some drumsticks or something. No, we were playing. Garrett and I, we have a long history together. We've been playing together for a decade now. We met in high school band. I think we celebrated this past year like 10 years of friendship and just high-fived, and he slapped the bass and I sang a song or something. But we've been in Austin about 5 years. Garrett met Ulises through working at Guitar Center. Ulises. Oh my God, I was going to screw it. Uli. I'm just going to say Uli. Uli. Yeah, they were working at Guitar Center together, and the 3 of us started playing together about 4 years ago. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. So we definitely have a history and a dynamic of playing together for about 4 years. And then KONZI, you know, about 4 years ago, you know, we started playing together. A couple of years into it, that's when we felt like we had enough material of original music to actually name a band and try to start going that direction. And that's really where it all started for us.
Named after the famous psychedelic apple, the KONZI, right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's the tree of knowledge. That's what it's from.
That's why it's purple.
So if you're just joining us, I'm here with Austin, Texas-based band KONZI, and we're going to debut their world premiere tonight of the music video for In the Ether. I became familiar with you when you released Bonnie and Clyde earlier this year. I think it's hard to believe that just in the last couple of months is the launch of all of the KONZI material, given how extensive it all feels. Does it feel that way for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. Like we were saying, we've been playing for maybe 4 years. Some of these songs are close to 3 or 4 years old. The full album that we'll be releasing has 10 tracks on it. And to make a note of what you're saying, like how extensive it all feels. And, you know, that was all by design. We really sat on our material and wanted to make sure we put together something that was cohesive enough for us to be proud of on another level. Because Garrett and I specifically, we've recorded music in the past where we just recorded a whole album, put the thing out there, didn't really think about the whole context of, you know, what a creative music project can be in the modern era, especially with all this technology that we have at our disposal. That's one of the reasons we went so crazy on this Bonnie and Clyde video, which I'm super proud of.
Well, let's go ahead and take a watch. I think that it'll be great to talk about once we give everybody a little bit of context. If you have any questions for the band, please feel free to go ahead and type them into the chat. We will definitely get to them and ask them throughout. In the meantime, check out Bonnie and Clyde. some
That's
Bonnie
true.
and Clyde accents.
Yeah, actually, I'm impressed. Restream. I don't think we're unmuted yet.
No, you're live. That's great. I thought it.
I was saying I was impressed with the streaming quality of that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how things work until you push them as hard as you can, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just gotta wing it.
So, yeah, I definitely want to send people. If you're watching that for the first time, you are able to go and learn more about the band at konziband.com. And then also, if you're just joining us, we are going to be premiering the music video, the world premiere of In the Ether. So hopefully you'll be excited after watching it to go and download the or go and pre-save this link so you can watch it on your favorite or listen on your favorite streaming platform. In the meantime, you can also find all of the other songs and videos and subscribe and like and follow at all the places you like to hang out at too. So Bonnie and Clyde. Now, the first thing that I have to say is initially when I see the video, to me it opens like a whole new world to what the song is or means or could have a conversation about. And then it also really reminds me of the Foo Fighters taking a very tongue-in-cheek approach to their attitude in making a music video and having a lot of fun with that process. How do you feel about those two statements?
Well, Foo Fighters is my favorite band, so that's
you just tickled his ego on that
Yeah,
one.
you
You
sure
like
did.
that, yeah. Absolutely. Bonnie and Clyde, just being something that culturally is already so pre-written and cliche in so many ways, to be able for us to get the opportunity to really like paint like an entire visual world around it that feels with zombies, it's completely different, was super cool for us. And definitely for me, because I mean, we wrote the song obviously with no intention of thinking of zombies. So for us to get to follow that creative path in that video, I can't believe how cool it turned out, personally. And it's that was our first time ever delving into the video process or anything like that.
Do you feel that it opened up the meaning of the song for you, like seeing it told in zombie style?
Oh yeah,
Totally.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
So the way it came about actually is we have a friend who's a screenwriter out in LA, and we had our whole album finished, and we were talking about which one of these songs do we think we want to shoot this video for, and we sent our friend just the whole album. Didn't tell him which ones we were thinking of, which ones we thought like was the single that we wanted to choose, and we were thinking Bonnie and Clyde, but we didn't tell him that. We wanted to see what he thought of his own. And I told him, when you're listening to this album, just any of these songs, if they paint any kind of like visual picture, like let me know and tell me if you like want to write a little script for it. And to my surprise, he came back with Bonnie and Clyde zombies.
And we were like, that's fucking kick ass. That's awesome.
So you're able to even like maybe try to hint at this song as having a little bit more like versatility. Maybe it could end up in the next like The Hills Have Eyes 9 movie or something.
Yeah, that happy moment they're riding off to their deaths or something,
So the next song that you released to me is as equally as good. So when you say that you're like, oh, Bonnie and Clyde had to be the initial single, to me we're all like on 3 singles. Is that 3 out of 10? Is does it just get better from here? What kind of switcheroo are you trying to pull?
I think we're definitely really diverse, and I wouldn't say the whole band agreed that Bonnie and Clyde was their favorite song or the single per se, but we thought, because there is some diversity, which you guys might hear over this next video interview, that Bonnie and Clyde maybe was the safest one and the most that felt like the rest of the sound of our songs put together, as opposed to our most like rock and roll song or our most like dancey song. So Bonnie and Clyde really pulled a lot of elements together of the rest of our music. So, but yeah, no, we plan on releasing a few more singles before the album comes out. A few more nuggets.
What do we need to know about Free Your Mind before we check that out?
The process of this song was really fun.
This was a lot of fun. This was our lead guitarist, Shawn, had written a song that I guess he thought was finished. And I'm like, I love all three of those parts. Let's flip them around. And we rearranged it, took it to the studio, and our producer was like, we need to simplify this. And I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, it sounds too crazy. Let's simplify it. Let's make it play less and play loud. We'll just crank it all up. And that's kind of how it came about.
Well, even further on that song, the pre-production of Free Your Mind, we met with Daniel Sahad, who we love and all miss so much in the Austin community. Definitely misses that guy. But he came to a couple of our rehearsals. We thought we had a kick-ass song. We're like, Daniel, come listen to our sweet song. And he kind of wrote some new vocal lines, kind of like scatting over it because he's just the most incredible vocalist ever. And I kind of took some voice memos of the words, some of the words he made up in that. And then me and a couple of friends sat down and wrote the rest of the lyrics that we had. And then, then Daniel thought it was a great song. And then we went into the studio, and Chris Frenchie, we did that one at the Bubble. He heard the song, and I think his comment was, all of your parts sound great, but you don't sound like a band. So we pulled us into the control room. We sat and listened to what we were playing. He pulled up an Audio Slave song as a reference, which is another one of Garrett's favorite bands. So Garrett was really happy to hear that. And then we went back in there, and it came out the way it is now. And like that song definitely evolved a lot. Out of almost all the KONZI songs that you're going to hear on the record at the end, that one was the most collaborative process of everyone's influence coming in on that song.
It really sounds like you like transformed it multiple times to shape it into what it became.
Yes, it was a blast to make, that's for sure.
And then also in the video, we got one of Daniel Sahad from Nane's bandmates to come in who played the congas on it.
Yeah, played conga, all the auxiliary
so that's
production.
another member of Nane. So that was another, just we don't have a conga player in our band. All we need is Uli on the drums. But that was a really fun element to bring as well.
So I think that we'll have to ask you to queue up that video for.
I think you just clicked the wrong one. You clicked the 2.5 gig one instead.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was just complimenting Restream, and now I did click the wrong one. I was so hesitant. What am I going in here? So which one am I going for? This guy.
We'll shout out. Thank you, Tammy, Abigail, Austin, for your comments in the chat. We really appreciate it.
There we go.
If you have any questions, please definitely go ahead and type them in, and we will be happy to ask them here on air. Meanwhile, let's dive into Free Your Mind.
It's time to take another hit, fly around through space. The spirit's all
You, I'm muted. I muted everybody.
There we go. Now we
It
can
was
hear
it was so awesome. I forgot who I was and where I was.
you.
You're like, no talking during the video.
No
Anyone.
talking during the video. No, that'll be the next time we stream. We'll do this again, but we'll talk over it like the director's commentary on the old
Yeah,
DVDs.
absolutely. That's what we were doing, just so you know, the whole time.
Well, I had commented, to that Derek had said that this was sick. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook, Derek. And Lisa had asked, "How did you end up in Austin?" So,
Well, Uli is actually one of the unicorns in Austin, Texas. Everybody's from somewhere else, but Uli's born and raised here. We are in his house right now. So we were lucky to find him for sure. Garrett and I, we've known each other since high school band down in Florida. And then after college, we spent a couple years in Savannah, Georgia. And that's where we recorded our first record that we'd ever did under a different band name. And him and I decided the East Coast was not the best coast. No coast is the best coast. Now we did a research of a bunch of cities we wanted to move to for music, and Austin just like really checked off a lot of boxes for us. So we moved out here, left behind our whole band, which was the best decision we ever made because our new band is way better.
No offense to anybody in the old band watching this.
No, they were all surfers and they couldn't be pulled away from their beachside vibes.
They thought that the coast was the best coast. Every coast.
Yeah.
I imagine if you're surfing, it's easier on the coast than in
It's
Texas.
You say that, but I think Kelly Slater's got like the indoor water surf thing in Waco, Texas, just outside of Austin. So there apparently is surfing. I don't know if you guys
We
heard
could've
about
brought him
this.
out here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a field trip then.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, Garrett and I, we got out here together about 5 years ago and then slowly kind of met everybody who's a part of KONZI now. Well, not everyone. Carly Jo, the female vocalist in the band, she also, we know her from Florida, from college.
She went to college
So
with us,
she's
yeah.
another Florida cat. Ulises the unicorn who's from Austin. And then our guitarist, Shawn, is from Michigan. But, music is a thing here in Austin that draws people, and we were one of them.
So, how long until we get KONZI at South by Southwest? Is that in the
It
works?
better be next year, is all I'm saying. Because
Thinking
we got some sweet shit going on for some of the bands that I've seen at South by. The applications are open right now, so we'll be applying. And we'll definitely be playing during South by, I'm sure. Just if it's official or not, time will tell.
the official, unofficial, official KONZI
It's a
show.
thing. It's a
We
thing.
played many unofficial South by shows. Many unofficial South by
I've
shows
played
all
official
over.
shows.
Have you played official
Yeah.
shows?
Yeah, I was in two
Yeah,
official.
Uli played some
Oh,
official
nice.
shows this year.
He's experienced. He's seasoned.
But we got a good feeling about it.
Awesome. Well, we'd like to see that happen. Please keep us in the loop. So, do you have anything to say about Free Your Mind or the video that, now that we've kind of had that refresher, is there anything that kind of stands out about the experience of recording or in producing the
I
video?
think watching that video, because the video, we had a camera guy come into the studio, just one guy. He set up 10 cameras or something. We ran through the song a couple times. And through the editing process, I do remember him saying, like, I wasn't sure if you guys wanted all that, like, all those dance moves. And Carly, like, has a huge grin in the background because it's a pretty rock and roll song. And I was like, hell yeah, keep that in there. Like, that is KONZI. We're rocking out, but we're still putting out positivity. It's not like a negative headbang, like a positive headbang.
There's negative headbanging.
Is there negative headbanging? I don't know.
Depends on what you're banging
Yeah,
your head
I don't
against,
know.
I guess.
It is having seen the effort that you put in to hitting some of those notes. I kind of imagine myself doing it even when I'm just like listening and I'm not singing out loud. Like I could kind of kind of visually just imagine kind of going into that space.
To get the high note of that song, I was in the vocal booth for a minute. I'll tell you that.
The song's got you talked about some of those changes and some of those transitions, some of those parts that kind of came together. I felt like when we kind of got into that bass that kind of bass line, Garrett, that we were maybe bleeding into some Tool territory? Is there some Tool influence there?
I do love Tool, that's for sure. I don't know if I was necessarily inspired by Tool, but I do like weird musical directions. I like being surprised in music, so switching it up a little bit, kind of changing the key and changing the vibe. That's kind of where my head was at. You know, how do we make this weird and then come back?
So I know that as a guitarist, you know, like I still fall in love with musicians on other instruments, like Danny Carey on drums, or like Marcus Miller on bass. Who would be like, so Forrest, you're the vocalist. What would be like another instrument, maybe like somebody that you kind of look up to, another
instrument.
Another musician that kind of masters another
Well,
instrument?
honestly, this is definitely on a left field for your mind and like the most rock song, but I love Chris Thile, who's like the best mandolin player in the world. Nickel Creek, Punch Brothers. He could probably play Metallica. He could probably do Master of Puppets on a mandolin and still be cooler than Eddie on Stranger Things. I don't know if you've listened to him, but he's next level. He's played with everybody in the world at this point because he did the NPR, some NPR show where they brought all of the bands in, you know, touring bands, and he played along. Yeah, that's who I would say. That's like my most unique music fandom is Chris Thile.
Uli, how about you? A different instrument? Somebody that you admire?
Honestly, that's kind of hard for me. I pay more attention to drummers than I do like any other instrument. Like I do like admire and aspire to be like some like of other musicians and other instruments, but I don't know, their names always escape me. I don't really remember. I'm like, oh, like this guy. But nah, for sure, like I look up to a lot of other musicians, but their names just cannot think of any at the moment.
What about in drums?
Yeah, so like Alex Gonzalez, he's the drummer of a Mexican band named Maná, who I look up to. John Bonham, Benny Greb, Chris Coleman, just to name a few that have really, Dave Grohl, that have like really like Danny Carey. They've really shaped how I play and how I look at music, especially because I started off with rock music. So those were the drummers that I was like listening to growing up.
Yeah, Ulises jazz as well, so it kind of runs in the blood.
Yeah.
A multi-generation drummer, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any kids? Are they going to be future drummers?
I don't have any kids, but I do want kids for sure, 100%. And if they're interested in drums, by all means, more than happy to go ahead and buy them a kit to get them started. But if they want to dabble in anything else, by all means, I'm just going to be supportive as much support as possible.
We had some kid come up, some 6-year-old or 9-year-old come up and play drums a couple of weeks ago at a show. The father came up to Uli during a break and said, "Hey, my kid's a really good drummer. Do you mind if he plays with the band?" And this kid came up and he was amazing. We got the father's information. We're probably going to feature him on a TikTok video playing one of our songs. Maybe we'll have like a drum duo off. That'd be sick.
Maybe. That would be. I'll have to school 100%.
Maybe you could get a whole group of younger stand-ins for a future music video.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Oh man, okay.
Not to leak any important information out or anything.
Just inspiring ideas. That's all.
How about you, Garrett? A musician on another instrument that you kind of admire.
Well, I would probably say so. I'm a huge fan of anime, and I went to school for film music and composition. So I would probably have to go with something like Hiroyuki Sawano, or like Hans Zimmer is another amazing film composer. Kevin Pankin, he's an Australian film composer who does a lot of anime stuff too. I get inspired by the people that can build colorful worlds and take you on a place and a journey without any lyrics, you know?
Well, musical composition, right?
Yeah.
For school. Garrett went to school for musical composition, so that's why the Hans Zimmer is also Interstellar is a great movie. I love Hans Zimmer.
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe I think movie soundtracks played a big part in influencing some of my direction musically, and certainly some of my passion for like non-traditional song formats for top 40 songs. Let's see. I am very excited. I'm itching so bad to share the new music video for In the Ether. I do want to say that we've gotten a lot of comments, most recently from Austin, about the band's hair. You've got a little bit of a wavy thing going on here, Forrest.
Garrett's got a little fan on. I did not put my hair down.
Garrett, your hair. Sorry.
Oh, my hair's gonna be super weird.
We're putting the hair up in a bun because we didn't want everyone to lose their minds.
That's
Anyway.
very thoughtful of you.
I let mine out. I had to. It was getting annoying being too up in the ponytail all the time.
Yeah, it's hot in Texas right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What's the weather like there?
It's been 100 degrees for I
Feels
think
like the sun.
60 days in a row. Yeah. It was the hottest July like on record, I think. So
Supposedly.
it's great. It's great.
We're melting.
Do you before we dive in, I've just got two more questions that I've got prepared, ready to ask you. Besides whether or not you're going to be sponsored by a shampoo company, it was so. Yeah, you've kind of identified yourself as indie alternative rock. Has it ever been more difficult to identify what genre of music you perform and why?
It's impossible. It's impossible to pick a genre. We have been skimming through genres. We even asked people like, hey, who do we sound like? You know, what do you think this sounds like? And then we started thinking about the bands that we maybe think that we sound like. And we couldn't really think of any. And our audio engineer, Charles, said that's a good problem to have.
Charles says we are the Pearl Jam of Austin, which we take as a compliment. But really all we've agreed on as a band, as a genre-wise, is we're not country. We're definitely we're not country.
Not country.
We're but it's actually an awesome thing that in this day and age, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself so early in your career. And we really do believe on like trying to have like a diverse sound, but still trying to stay cohesive in a way with what we think we do. Just not country.
Not country.
I love country music, don't get me wrong, but we got some big rockers in the band. And yeah.
So what does the band do for fun when you're not, producing music and music videos? What do you like to do on the weekends, so to speak?
We're always playing, always. I mean, going to see music, does that like count?
Yeah, we go see a lot of music. Again, I run an anime podcast, so I watch a lot of anime and talk about it. What do you do, Uli?
I play games.
Yeah, we definitely a lot of diverse interests in the band. Like for me, when it's not 100 degrees out every single day, like and Shawn, I can speak for him as well, are big outdoors people. I know you're in Southern Utah right now, so anytime I can get to a national park, I want to be there. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I'm the complete opposite of.
Yeah, he wants to stay inside,
Yeah.
but that's just because he hasn't gone camping yet.
I've gone camping once. It was not a fun time.
So, what games do you play, Uli?
I'm really into Apex right now. I'm pretty solid, pretty good. I play Fortnite with my girlfriend. Friday the 13th with my girlfriend, and then another game called Dead by Daylight.
That's a good game.
With my girlfriend. I play a lot of games with my girlfriend. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bringing couples together, the internet and video games,
Yeah, exactly.
Just hardcore violence, without any consequence.
Well,
So that's what.
you know all about hardcore violence without any consequences if you run an anime podcast.
I sure do.
And Uli used to work in a horror house for a minute.
A haunted house.
Haunted house. Yeah. So he enjoys scaring people on purpose, which is what he does with his drumming too. It's scary.
Noted. Question coming from Derek is, Forrest, what's your favorite national park?
Well, he knows it's Yosemite because I went there with him. Backpacked there last year. which I heard there's some fires there right now. So hopefully Yosemite's safe. Derek, let me know.
It's very intense. They had some major flooding and now some fires. I think Locust is next. I'm not sure about the order, but hopefully nothing like that. Emily says nothing like a good old anime battle scene. Can we get you to drop the link to the podcast in the chat at some point, Garrett?
Of course.
We'd love to.
Link to that.
Yeah, Emily, you can do that too. But we'll do
Emily's
it. We'll do
my
it twice.
co-host.
Yeah, Emily is the co-host.
Oh, hi, Emily. Yeah, please drop that in the chat. We'd love to.
I'd say definitely
that out.
Free Your Mind should be featured in a old anime battle scene. I'd be down with that. So any anime creators out there, reach out.
Anime Noise Podcast. We'll see if we can grab a URL and share that out for you later. But I think it's probably about time. I know that folks have been waiting, very excited, patiently putting up with my rambling for the world premiere of In the Ether.
Is it Shawn? Shawn is not here, the guitarist. Oh, let Shawn say hey real quick.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and cue up the video and we'll give Shawn the floor. Hi, Shawn.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us. You're just in time for the world premiere of In the Ether on Alchemical Records. You made it. So one of the questions that I asked all of the band was, and just to kind of get you caught up and running, you're a fantastic guitarist. We watched the music videos and heard all of the track completely for Bonnie and Clyde and for Free Your Mind. But what would maybe be a musician on another instrument that you kind of look up to?
Other than the guitar?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Curveball.
Yeah, let's go with Xavier Rudd on the didgeridoo.
Yeah. Didgeridoo. That's right. That picks up Shawn's essence in one
That is
answer.
my essence, yeah.
I think that's awesome. I'm going to have to look that up because I need some context. For me, I might I had used some things like Danny Carey in Tool, like just a fantastic drummer. I also think of like Jake Shakabakura on ukulele. It's
Oh yeah, I saw that guy live many years ago. He's incredible.
No way. That is awesome.
Yeah.
A friend of ours from DC, Yasmin Williams, just went on tour with Andy McKee recently. And if you're unfamiliar with Andy McKee, you have to check him out. He's an incredible instrumentalist and guitarist. But they were too far away for me to just go rambling over to the next town to go see it. So here we go. We're going to show off. Emily had shared animenoisepodcast.buzzsprout.com. So thank you, Emily. We really appreciate that. What other questions should we subject Shawn to just to get him caught up to speed?
What do you do for fun on the weekend, Shawn?
Yeah, what do you do for fun when you're not playing music?
Oh, wow. A lot of hiking.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's about it. A lot of hiking, a lot of mixing, producing, recording.
Because creating is a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now, if you happen to be stuck outdoors, then you have to find a way to produce outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need amps. We don't need guitars. We'll just sit around this is why Uli doesn't like camping, honestly, because we can't be rocking out there. Did that video upload work, or do I need to try it again?
Let's see if we're ready to do this. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this.
All right. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, with the world premiere of In the Ether with KONZI.
Deck Daddy.
All right.
My name spelled wrong.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. What, dude? Dang. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shawn just found out I spelled his name wrong in the credits there. I'm sorry for all of Shawn's family.
It's not some other Shawn trying to take his spot in the band, is it?
Well, actually, you know what? It's not officially done. We could still make this correction. We did this today.
Absolutely. It's a soft launch, a dry run.
Yeah.
So is this any of your first time seeing the video?
Definitely not first for the whole thing, but there were final edits made within the past 48 hours that I know not everybody has seen.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah.
him.
So which of your lives is the story of meeting the fortune teller based on?
It's yeah, I think so, like, for sure.
Shawn, you've been voted most likely to like have a life-changing event after visiting a fortune teller. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I went to New Orleans a couple times and pretty much lived that same story, I'd say.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share about the video? Do we have any questions? We've got Ray Owens saying we've got a great guitar riff. Derek wants more shout outs for California. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share about maybe the inspiration behind the song, or how did you kind of arrive there?
First, I definitely would like to thank Shawn and his roommate Chris Heath, who is in the credits spelled correctly as Deck Daddy. They put a lot of work in. We filmed that at their house. A lot of work was done to put together everything that was in that video. Filled up the hot tub at the very end of the scene there, where we jumped up in the water. We built an entire deck. Yeah,
In a couple of days.
it was a lot of work on that guy.
So you built a deck in order to be able to put the music video together. Most people just buy pizza or something, you know. For
Yeah, we built decks.
Yeah.
Shawn's family made you build a deck. That was the deal, huh?
Yeah.
They were like, we want to build a deck anyway. If you guys want to shoot a music video, like, let's do it.
Just build a deck.
You want
But
to shoot?
truly, that was part of the plan when we were first like in the planning phase of the video. And then we thought we were just going to rent, a stage to try to do it. And his roommate, Chris, is kind of like a handyman. And within a week of the shooting of the video, he decided to build I think like a 12 by 12 deck or something. So definitely impressive. That's why he made the credits for this one. Also, just a newsflash, that Chris, his roommate, that was also his green, beautiful Mustang in the Bonnie and Clyde music video.
He's also Mustang Daddy.
He's also Mustang Daddy in the credits.
All comes back full circle. I feel like I've learned so much.
But about the song itself, that was one of the first songs the four of us wrote together. And like a lot of KONZI's music, it had a lot of reiterations and kind of before it got to its final form. But I definitely would, love to give a big shout out to Daniel Sahad, the producer and like mentor, and kind of brought us all together to push to do what we've done with KONZI. He definitely had a really big influence in that song. He sings some beautiful harmonies that you can hear there at the breakdown bass section. That's his like angelic voice.
It's just his voice in the credits too.
And if you let the credits on him, that's like a little remix we made of him singing that. And, I think the purpose of the song and the meaning is really just about throwing yourself into life and life's experiences. And that's definitely something that Daniel did like every single day. And that's why everybody loved him so much, which is pretty awesome that we were able to work with him on that song for sure.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time tonight. And thank you, everybody, for the questions and the chat here in the comments. If you are looking to stay in touch with KONZI, you can join their mailing list on their website. And also, you can pre-save the In the Ether track on your favorite streaming platform. It will come out on 12:01 a.m. this Saturday or Friday at midnight for those of you staying up late.
Pre-save and share, please. And California, I guess, because that's what Eric said.
And seriously, thank you so much for having us. It really means a lot.
Absolutely a pleasure. So if I do this correctly, let me see if I can launch this in time to share it right here on the call. Let's see. This is my first attempt at something of this magnitude. Oh, I've got our coverage of the track in the ether, and I've got the live stream that we're recording right now already embedded here in the link, so you can go and check out a little bit more about the song. You can go and watch the restream again. You can fast forward all the way to the music video and watch it 6 times if you want to. I won't stop you. But in any event, it has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Uli, Shawn, Garrett, and Forrest for being on the call. Tell Carly we missed her, and we'll hope to catch her on the next one.
Absolutely. Thanks, Daniel.
Have a great night.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
I almost said your